Yo. Welcome in, man. Today is January the 28th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. It's only 4 games on the board for today, so we'll get into a quick recap. We will go through a couple comments, see what jaXon has to say. jaXon also hit another play yesterday, that under between the Bucks and the who did the Bucks play? The Bucks played the Jazz last night. It was an under game. I think it stayed at 235. jaXon like the under 238. So a couple back-to-back winners for jaXon. Can't really remember what's going on before that, but I think jaXon has been hot lately, man. So getting into a quick recap, let's do just that. Yesterday, I had 5 official plays. Denver blew a double-digit lead in the second half. I think they allowed the Bulls to go on a 14-0 run, I think it was. And then Orlando Magic also had a fourth quarter double-digit lead, and they just couldn't make a shot. They couldn't stop Tyler Hero or Ware or anybody else, and they lose the game outright. So really some bad losses. Sometimes people probably think I overreact to the losses, but it is what it is, honestly. Like last week when Kyrie broke my heart when he hit that meaningless 3, that hurt a lot. These ones I kind of took with a grain of salt. And it's not just because I had a winning day. It's more so because that's just what happens when you're betting the NBA. So if you can't stomach the losses, you probably should be doing something differently, man. Don't put your money on these games because it's hard. It's very difficult. It's a lot of ups and downs. But you just got to keep, be persistent, and hopefully it cashes out. So it should have been a sweep, but we'll take that. I'll take anything I can that I see green. Daniel Gafford went up and over his points. Sacramento, Brooklyn total got steamed up. It still stayed under, and added the Washington team total under 109.5, which absolutely ended up being a sweat after they scored like 15 points in the first quarter. But they did. I think they finished like right at 108. So that was a winner as well. So we did make some profit yesterday. Easily could have been a sweep yesterday, but like I said, it kind of is what it is, man. You don't even really think too much about yesterday. It's already about today, and I hate the slate for today. So hopefully we can find some winners. Let's go through a couple comments real quick. Algina says, good morning, Chris and crew. Thanks, Orlando and Denver. On the do not bet list, them teams go. Let's cash today. Let's get it back. Yeah. Boy. Good morning, Fear Elite. What up, Jose? What up, She? Five Split says good morning. What up, JLB? Helping Hand says Paulo hooked me, and Melo ain't even gonna talk about it. Yeah, Melo went down last night, man. He went down. Helping Hand says much love from the 757. Shout out to the 757. What part you in, Helping Hands? Part of 757 you in. Good morning, Bill A. J Man, good morning. Bankroll Reese says that Giannis dunk was crazy. I didn't even see that. I did stay up for the end of the games, except the Suns game, which I'm glad I stayed off of that one because it felt easy to take the Clippers yesterday. I'm glad I stayed off of that one. Dante says up extra early. Let's get this bread. Good morning. Good morning, Dante. What up to my guy, Justin? DJ Props, good morning, bro. Says smacking the Lakers to win both halves at plus 210 today. Boy, okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. What up, Rue? What up, Christian? TC Bets, good morning to you, bro. What up, Merrill? Says he got the Suns right. Let's see. J-Man says Tatum officially on the do not bet list as well. Jared Jackson Jr. Hook Woo. What up, Mark? Great day, fam. Houston first quarter up and over 26.5 for Hot TV Grits. Ski says somehow I'm still awake. What's up, Ski? Shout out to my guy Ski. Ski probably had a good night. He probably had a good night last night. And he's still up. What time is it? It's about 4:40 on the West Coast. So yeah, Ski probably had a good night, man. What up to my guy Ski though? Justin says did good in the NBA last night, but killed in college. Not tripping though. Like to hear that. Portsmouth. Shout out to Portsmouth, man. I know a lot of Portsmouth guys. Dorian Finney-Smith is really close to one of my college friends, one of my really close college friends that hooped with him when they were in high school in Portsmouth. Shout out to Portsmouth, man. What up, Burns? Appreciate you for tapping in. AC Lock says Magic and Clips hurt. Yeah, they did hurt. Let's jump into it for today, man. First up, we'll start with jaXon, as we always do. jaXon is your AI sports betting buddy, companion, whatever it is that you want to call it. jaXon has been cashing You type in the prompt that you want analysis for, and jaXon will spit out some information, kind of create you some charts, give you some analysis. You can chose to fade it, or you can chose to tail it if you like it. So today I wanted to ask jaXon about the Lakers and 76ers total is what I asked about. jaXon tells me what the total is, set at 217 to 218.5, depending on the sports book. And then it says, here's a breakdown of the total. So it creates me a nice little chart with some metrics, points per game last 10 games, points per game allowed last 10 games, combined average points scored, field goal percentage for both teams, and 3-point percentage for both teams. Then it has some recent trends. It says the Lakers and 76ers have combined to average about 219.8 points per game over their last 10, which is above the total line today of 217.5 to 218.5. The Lakers on a 4-game winning streak with Anthony Davis and LeBron leading the charge. Davis is coming off a monster. Shout out to AD, man. Coming off a monster 42-point game, and the Lakers offense has been clicking. The 76ers, despite being shorthanded without Joel Embiid and Paul George, have seen Tyrese Maxey step up. He's averaging 30.4 points per game over his last 10 outings. So injury and impact, we got the 76ers missing key players like Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Andre Drummond, which could weaken their defense and lead to a faster-paced game. The Lakers are on the second night of a back-to-back, which might impact their defensive intensity, potentially allowing more scoring opportunities for the 76ers. And then you got some matchup dynamics. The Lakers defense is allowed 112.6 points per game, and the 76ers defense is allowed 112.4 points per game. Both teams have struggled to contain opponents, which could lead to a higher scoring game. I don't know how much I agree with that, but that's what jaXon says. jaXon goes on to say Tyrese Maxey has been a standout for the 76ers. His ability to exploit the Lakers defense, especially with their struggles against guards, could push the total higher. Then you got some betting trends. The total has gone up and over in 6 of the last 76ers last 10 games, and then the Lakers have hit the over in 5 of their last 10 games. Then you got betting odds. Recommendation, pick over 217.5. Both teams have shown defensive vulnerabilities, and the Lakers' recent offensive surge, combined with Maxey's hot streak, suggest a higher scoring game. The absence of key defensive players like Joel Embiid and Paul George further support this pick. So I don't know how much I necessarily agree with it over here, but it is a super low total. This is a game, we'll talk about it, but I kind of want to see what happens with the injury report first. I know it's a nationally televised game, but man, I get like goosebumps thinking about the Lakers playing on the second leg of a back-to-back and laying points with them, or whatever I'm thinking is going to happen with this team. So we'll talk about it, but that's what jaXon likes. Again, check jaXon out. There's a link in the description of the video where you can save yourself 50% off on player prop, size, totals, NBA, NFL, college basketball, college football, MLB, you name it. It can make you pretty much anything that you want, save you a ton of time with your analysis. So let's jump into it. The first game we have on the board is the Lakers and the 76ers. This line been moving all over the place. Last night, when I'm looking into the game, I handicapped it at 4. It looks like it's moved to 5. There's some 4.5s out there. The total is at 219. It is starting to come down. I see it all the way down to 217.5 on Circa, but there are some 218s out there as well. So you just, kind of pick and choose what it is that you want. The news, this line moving, I think, is a reaction to the public, or maybe even sharp bettors, finding out that Joel Embiid and Paul George are still going to be out. So they will still miss this game. Yabusele is probable. I think he is for this game. Let's just double check it. Yeah, he's listed as probable with a knee injury. He's probably going to play. If not, they don't really have too many other big men because Drummond is already out. Paul George is out. Like I said, he's going to miss the game with a finger injury. Caleb Martin is out. KJ Martin is out. And then on the Lakers side, Rui Hachimura missed the game last night. Not sure if he's going to play. You got to wait for the Lakers to submit their injury report. But it is the second leg of a back-to-back. Bron and AD were probable yesterday. They both played, of course, against the Charlotte Hornets, and they didn't cover, even after getting out to a super big lead. And this Lakers team is so untrustworthy, man. I didn't bet this. I actually wanted the Charlotte Hornets yesterday. But, you watch the first quarter, you're like, man, woo, glad I dodged that bullet because the Lakers going to win this game by 20. And LaMelo gets hurt. The Lakers still only win the game by 5 points, man. It's absolutely tragic what the Lakers do as far as covering spread. So you got another really tight spread here. I can see the Lakers winning this game by a bucket. Now, should they come out here and absolutely dominate? Yeah, but they should have did that yesterday against the Charlotte Hornets, so they could have rested in the second half yesterday, especially when LaMelo Ball went down. That's how I kind of see the game. It's not a trustworthy team. I gave you guys all the numbers yesterday as far as the Lakers laying points on the road, especially in non-conference games. I know that this one is nationally televised, but they're 1-5. 2-5, 2-4 straight up, and 1-5 against the spread playing on the road in non-conference games so far now, because they didn't cover yesterday. Remember, I said the only win that they had before yesterday actually came against the Toronto Raptors. But the losses, the ATS losses to the Cavs, to the Pistons, to the Heat, to the Hawks in this spot. Also just 3-8 against the spread. 3-9 now, because they didn't cover last night. 3-9 against the spread when they're traveling from road to home. I want nothing to do with laying points with the Lakers. That's just kind of how I see them. Now, on the opposite side, it is an advantageous spot, though. Philly should absolutely get dominated. The Lakers have been eaten in the paint. When I was looking into this last night, Philly is 28th in opponent rim frequency last 5 games, so teams are getting to the rim. They're also 22nd in opponent rim accuracy. So not only are teams getting to the rim, but they're scoring at the rim, and that should mean a big day for AD. He should be able to dominate again. His points, I think, 26.5. He had 42 last night. His rebounds today is listed at, I think I saw 11.5 or 12.5. 12.5. He had 23 last night. So if you think that AD can do that, which I know Prop Beaver was on his props yesterday when I was on Cal Show. It made way too much sense. And if we think that Mark Williams is a bad defender, Yabusele gonna have his work cut out for him. Now, granted, he's pretty strong. He's still not a great defender, though. Not a great defender at all. So this one I kind of want to stay off. If I play anything, maybe another look towards AD. I just worry about him being consistent. That's how I kind of see the game. The Lakers have won. Also, I put in my notes, Lakers have won back-to-back games against Philly early this season. They beat a 116-106 as a 7.5-point home favorite. That game did go under the total of 223. This total, of course, opens up a lot lower, but you do worry about if you think the Lakers going to be able to score, because Philly does lack a lot of rim protection. And these are the games that the Lakers typically win. When a team can't stop them from getting to the rim because they're not a great three-point shooting team, they typically do win. So I say all that to say that it should be a Lakers spot in my opinion, but I can't lay points with the Lakers, man. I cannot lay points with the Lakers. The Sixers actually put together pretty good performances. They beat Cleveland, beat Chicago back-to-back games, covered both of the spreads as well after failing to cover 7 games in a row. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Sacramento Kings tomorrow. And then I had some trends as well. Lakers 4-1 straight up, 3-2 against the spread playing unrested, 4-1 to the under when they're playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. The Sixers are 2-9 against the spread when they have the rest advantage. When they have the rest advantage. You hate to see that if you like the Sixers. They're also 2-6 against the spread if their opponent is playing unrested. You hate to see that if you like Philly. Philly also 12-18-1 against the spread without Embiid. They're 3-11 straight up, 4-10 against the spread when both Embiid and Paul George sit. They're losing by an average of 8 points per game. The only wins that they have came against the Wizards, the Nets, and then they beat the Pacers one time as well. And it's a defensive, drop off, I guess. Defensive rating with PG and Paul George and Embiid on the floor, 105. They're minus 2.5 in point differential. They're getting outscored by about 2.5 points. Defensive rating without both Paul George and Joel Embiid is a 119. So they're giving up about 14 more points per 100 possessions without both of those guys. Then you take away Drummond, which is an offensive rebounding threat, and they're minus 7.7. So it should be a Lakers spot. Am I betting the Lakers? No, I'm not betting the Lakers, man. Let's see what you guys are thinking about it. And real quick, let's just go to Outlier. I will pull up Mr. Anthony Davis and just kind of put some visuals with why he should have a good game here. This is Outlier for people that are interested in checking it out. There is a link in the description. So we got Mr. Anthony Davis, ambulance driver here. Points prop sitting at 26.5. You can see, like I said, he dominated yesterday. You can also see he had a really good game against Golden State. These are teams that can't defend bigs, teams that kind of give it up in the paint. Against Boston, he had 24, but against Washington, 29 as well. So three of his last 4 opponents have really struggled with giving up points in the paint. Anthony Davis has been good against those teams. You can see head-to-head, when he played against them earlier this season, he did have 31 points in that game. He shot 11 for 20, had 55%. And I can just see him kind of, dumping the ball. It feels too easy. And sometimes the easy plays cash. So Yeah, I would be looking at Mr. Anthony Davis in this game today, especially with Bron being on the second leg of a back-to-back. Kind of makes sense, in my opinion, for Anthony Davis to get to 28 points, 27, 28 points in this game. I would just go back to the well. It does feel a little easy, but that's how I kind of view this one. Like I said, the Philadelphia 76ers struggle in rim protection. So those are my thoughts on this game, but I don't know if I'm gonna actually bet Anthony Davis. Easy play's been cashing though. Let's see what we are thinking in the chat about this one. Oh man, I love Ski so much, man. GLB says got systems on all the favorites today except the Utah game. Yeah, it's hard to find a system that want to back the Golden State Warriors minus 11. Christian says LeBron James under points, rebounds, and assists. Son 40 does he go off in a back-to-back? So here's my problem with fading Bron, Christian, and it could be it, right? Is that the Lakers play well against teams that don't guard the rim. The Lakers play really well with teams that can't guard the rim. That's why they was able to get out to such a big lead yesterday. Because once you get downhill, and you know it's a team that can't guard the rim, then it creates everything else, right? Then you get the kickouts to Dalton Connect, to Austin Reeves, to Gabe Vincent, to Dorian Finney-Smith. But you also can just get to the rim and lay it up. So Bron should have no problem in this game being able to do that. It's also one of the reasons why it's extremely frustrating that the Denver Nuggets lost last night, because I watched the Denver Nuggets just walk to the rim maybe like 40 times in the first half, like just layup. Aaron Gordon was looking like a man out there playing against little kids at, a youth league basketball game, just getting to the rim, layup, like little touch fadeaway floater over the shoulder. Like, I mean, he was doing whatever he wanted. All of a sudden, the Denver Nuggets let the Chicago Bulls go on a 14-0 run. But Chicago's another team that really can't guard the rim. So I don't know, man. What up, Bryant says he's gonna take the Blazers plus 6.5 here. Oubre over his assist for Merrill. Mark says need to see who's actually going to play for these teams. And that's a fact. Ski says Lakers, worst team in the history of the NBA with the lead. Absolutely they are. Boy, you talking about making the game harder than it has to be? J-Man says he likes AD 35 and 16 tonight, and I can see that happening. Justin likes over. Wu says take the 76ers. Lakers may rest players, just wait before the game. And I said the same thing. I said that last night in the Discord. How about AD first quarter points plus rebounds yesterday? Sheesh, Christian says. What up, Ring? AD 14 plus boards for DJ props. 76ers should miss a lot of shots. Go says he'll play LeBron under his points, rebounds, and assists. Kevin says, I think the Lakers can cover. They didn't last night. Thank you, Charlotte, for my +6. Yeah, Lakers will find a way for sure. DJ Props says, I'm avoiding LeBron props. Seems like he lets the younger guys play on the second leg of a back-to-back. I need to look into that because I hadn't even thought about fading Bron points, rebounds, and assists, but it kind of makes sense. The problem with that is it's a nationally televised game. Bron know the lights going to be on him today. I'm going to write down Bron points, rebounds, and assists. I'm not going to go right back. I'm not going to look at it right now specifically, but I am interested. I am interested now that I'm hearing this LeBron James chatter in the comment section. Is it a fade? Is Bron a fade on the second leg of a back-to-back? I will find out the answer. I'll post this in the Discord a little bit later, but I did write it down. I'm interested to see now. All right, so that's what we got on this game. I don't think there's any more. The bookie says take the Sixers on the money line. I wouldn't go that far, man. Flint says Austin Reeves points under. So Austin Reeves points plus rebounds was a strong underplay. Flint, I'm glad you mentioned this real quick. Matter of fact, let's go back to this. Let's go back real quick to Outlier. If I can get this to pop up. So Austin Reeves, let's see. Austin Reeves, this was actually an outlier, like a something that kind of jumped out with Outlier today. Austin Reeves. Did my keyboard die? Bro. Let's see. I think I got 2. All right. So Austin Reeves, points plus rebounds. I mean, he's been dishing the ball. He hasn't really been getting points and rebounds, though. So real quick, let's go. Points plus rebounds. There we go. Boom. So you can see he stayed under the number. If you just look at this, you can change this to under 23.5. Austin Reeves has been dishing. He hasn't been scoring as much or or just grabbing boards. So you can see that he's under in 8 of his last 10 games. This was something that kind of stood out to me. We know that the Pacers, like in all seriousness, we know that the Pacers play, not the Pacers, the 76ers play pretty slow basketball. Not a team that wants to play really, really fast. They are 18th in pace last 5 games at home. They're actually the slowest paced team as well. So Austin Reeves points plus rebounds is something that I was looking at potentially on the under as well, but I'm not sure if I'll actually get to the window. Him and Braun to go under their points, rebounds, and assists could be good looks in this game. All right, let's get over to the next one. Way too much time on a game that we like. I think Mark said it in the chat. We don't even know who's going to play for real, for real. All right, let's go back over to, let's get to the next one. We got the Bucks and the Blazers. So this line opened 6.5. It's down to 5.5 now. There are a lot of sixes. It looked like sixes consensus. The total opened 232.5, and it's down to 229.5. And that makes a ton of sense. It's really hard for me to play unders, even though we did cash a couple. I had a couple leans unders yesterday as well that cashed. The Utah Jazz team total stayed under. The Nets total stayed under. So there are some times to take some unders. So the Bucks and Blazers always just go under though. That's why I like this under. I didn't play it. I may not even get there. I do think that it's something that should be on the short list here. But let's jump into the matchup. So on the Bucks side of things, they can submit their injury report late. Of course, we probably won't get Chris Middleton because the second leg of a back-to-back. They did play last night against the Utah Jazz. They won their game pretty handily. I think they ended up winning by 25, but they were up by, they won the game by 15, but they were up by 20 plus throughout majority of the game. I'm not sure how many minutes their starters played, but I don't think it was too taxing. You are coming out of altitude though, you know, whenever you're playing in Utah the night before. Bobby Portis also missed yesterday's game, and AJ Green looks like he's game time decision for this game. On the Portland Trailblazers side of things, they will be pretty healthy. Only Aiden, who is listed as questionable right now. So head to head, we talked about this earlier this season. I remember when Portland went into Milwaukee, we were on a Portland team total under. They really just struggled in this matchup, and they did stay under. They actually won the game though. No, Portland, they match up really well with Milwaukee. They won back-to-back games. They've covered 3 in a row against the Bucks, including the matchup earlier this season. Like I said, they won that game all right. I remember Dame missing a game-time three-pointer or a game-winning three-pointer. Portland won 105-102. That game stayed under the total of 228 by, what is that, 20 points. There's been 4 straight unders in the head-to-head matchup between the two teams. 7 of the last 10 games have actually stayed under the total as well. And for the Bucks, like I said, second leg of back-to-back, third game in 4 nights. They're 8-2. Well, actually 9-1 straight up now, and 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games after covering last night. They're also 7-3 to the over, but their game last night did stay under the total. For Portland, it's a pretty bad spot, like rest-wise. This is 7th game in 11 nights, second game back home after I think it was a 3-game road trip. They have covered 5 straight games. They won 4 of their last 5 games. They have been playing a lot better with Denny Avdia back. Jeremy Grant being back. Kamara played really, really big in that last game. Anthony Simons is kind of hit or miss. Scoot had a couple. Scoot has had a couple big games as well. And then you got Shaedon Sharpe as well. So the Trailblazers are playing some pretty good basketball here. Do we think the Bucks can go in and win this game by 7+ points? I think so one part of me is like the Bucks probably might want to get up for this one, because even though it's the second leg of a back-to-back, they didn't play heavy minutes last night, and they kind of owe Portland. Giannis seems like, to me, you know, the teams that beat him, he probably want to beat them the next time. And they overlooked the Portland Trailblazers, in my opinion, the first time that they were playing them. Now the Bucks have actually been balling. As far as like Portland being able to score, I think I lean towards their team total to go under. If we go back to their last game, we took the under on their team total against the Oklahoma City Thunder the other day. Real quick, the Bucks are a top-tier defensive team as of late. Last 5 games, the Bucks are 9th in defensive efficiency. They are playing a little bit slower, 13th in pace. And the Portland Trailblazers, not a team that can shoot the three-point shot really well, and that's why I think that's why they went up and over the total in the last one. So real quick, I just want to pull that up. I want to give you guys the exact numbers, because we lost on this team total by 1.5 on Sunday, and that was because the Portland Trailblazers got really hot from the three-point line. They only scored 108 points for the full game, but when I went back and looked at it, they hit 18 threes, 18 for 40 from the 3-point line, 45%. You had Tamari Kamara hit five of his 5 threes. He went 100%, 5 for 5 from the 3-point line. Denny Abdia, 4 for 9. Scoot Henderson, 5 for 11. Like, I'm not projecting these guys to shoot the 3-point shot at 45% again. So that also makes me think under. I think that the Bucks can come in here, win the game with their defense. They also should be able to get downhill, put some pressure on the rim, be able to kick out to some shooters. So I guess I'll go. Strongest look for me in this game will probably be Portland team total under. I know it's the second leg of a back-to-back for the Bucks, but I think that defensively they should be able to hold the Portland Trailblazers under 112.5. I see a 112.5 on Valley Bet, on Bet Rivers, and on Bet 365 right now. Under 112.5, I think will be my best look in this game. Not sure if I'll actually get to the window with this one. It just kind of makes sense, and what makes sense typically don't cash. So probably gonna stay on the sideline here as well. Let's see. Drop a Dime says he likes the Bucks team total to go under at 117.5. There's 118.5 out there. Little juice at minus 120, but 117.5 looks like it's consensus. Drop a Dimes don't think the Bucks get there. I think they can win it with their defense as well. So I like full game under, and a Portland team total under 113 as well. Christian says he's going to stay with the guy that's been hot, Denny Abdia, over on his rebounds plus assists. Another really good time to bring up Outlier. So if we look at Denny has been, I don't know, I think my keyboard really died. Denny has been hooping. Like, he's been absolutely crushing it. And I think Christian said rebounds plus assists. Let's see. RA for Denny Abdia. Yeah, you can see it right here. He's up and over in 6 of his last 10 games. Just had 8 and 8 against the Oklahoma City Thunder, which I would say that is a much better defense than not much better, but they are better defense than the Bucks, especially given Isaiah Hartenstein just came back for the full season. I think it's been a minutes thing, right? So if we look at the last 10 games, you can see that he's playing about 34 minutes. That's actually right here. So 34 minutes for Denny Abdia over the last 10 games. The last 5 games, he's still about 34 minutes. So we go full season, and then we come over here, we filter this to if we think that he's going to play about 34 minutes. I always like to go a few under. So let's just say he gets to 31 minutes tonight. On the full season, you can see that 73% hit rate, 11 and 15 to the over, only staying under in 4 games. Once against Charlotte, once against the Philadelphia 76ers, once against the Dallas Mavericks, and then once against the Phoenix Suns. So this makes sense. Yeah, Denny Abdia over his rebounds and assists. I couldn't talk anybody off of this. Sometimes when it makes sense, though, you want to kind of stay away from it. But Denny Abdia over his rebounds and assists kind of makes a lot of sense in my mind. Let's see real quick. If we reset this to all games, let's just see head to head. What did he have the last time he played them? Oh yeah, he had 14 boards in Milwaukee earlier this month. 14 boards and 4 assists. So he went well over this number, 18.5. Yeah, I couldn't talk anybody off a little Denny Abdia love. Good. I think that's a good one, Christian. Appreciate you for sharing that. I know Abdia has been eating, so that's why I wanted to look at it. Let's see. What up, Charles? Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning, Tasha. Lori Markin, we ain't got there yet. Ski says lean Blazers. Bucks travel been hell and no rest. Blazers covered 5 straight. I feel like it's going to be a public dog, though, and public dogs are trash. And I agree with that, Ski. But I kind of also feel like, Ski, I kind of feel like nobody really watching the Blazers play except people that really, like bet the games really frequently. The Blazers, I feel like, are just like this team, like probably one of the least publicized teams in the NBA. Like, people forget about the Blazers because they don't have star power now. No Damian Lillard, no CJ McCollum. I don't know. I could be wrong, though. But I guess I kind of agree with you. I would probably want the 6.5 before I would lay the 6.5. He says Bucks losing record on the road. That is also true. I did look into that. Another fugazi game, Mark says, and I agree. Jonathan said, I like the bet team total under on the Blazers. I think a full under as well. J-Man says Bucks 5-1 ATS on Tuesdays. Bucks 3-0 on Tuesdays away from the crib, J-Man says. Did I put any of that stuff in my notes? Let's see. So Milwaukee is 2-5 against the spread, playing on 0 days rest. But back-to-back wins and covers versus the Washington Wizards and Orlando Magic in their last two. So they started the season off 0-5. Well, 0-5. 0-5 against the spread, playing unrested. They've covered back-to-back games though, and like I said, it's a fatigue spot for both teams. Portland 7-game and 11 nights as well. So just some things to take into consideration. Will says he likes Anthony Simons over his 19.5 points. He's over this in 5 straight games versus them. We know Simons came up under Dame, and Bucks ain't stopping guards anyway. Bucks. So I did see that jaXon got thrown out last night, Andre Jackson Jr. That helps defensively. If he comes back, AJ Green is a pretty good defender. The Bucks got some perimeter defenders. It's just like, are they going to be locked in for this game? The revenge factor really scares me off of wanting to take the points for Portland here, but I guess I would lean that way. I'd like the under a little bit more than anything else. Next game we got up. So Indigo says hopping in right now, but Bucks 1-8 against the spread off a road win, 2-7 against the spread following the road cover. Okay, so that gives me Boston Celtics vibes, and we know what that's like. J-Dub says Dame 30 ball, going back to his old stomping grounds. Next game we got up is the Jazz and the Warriors. Man, this spread is big. It's 10 and it opened 10.5. It's up to 11 now. Total is moving north, and I agree with that. Open to 27.5, and it's up to 229. The Utah Jazz, of course, can submit their injury report late because they played last night. So terrible spot for the Jazz here. We'll talk about that in a second. John Collins and Walker Kessler did get ruled out yesterday. They could both return in this game. Who knows who's going to play for them? On the Golden State side, no Draymond, no Kuminga. They did get Brandon Brzezinski back in the last game. Gary Payton II, is playing now. So they are slowly but surely getting a little bit healthier. Golden State has owned the Utah Jazz. They've won 6 straight games in the head-to-head matchup, all the games last season. For the Utah side, like, they are in a bit of a fatigue spot. It's the second leg of a back-to-back, but not only a second leg of back-to-back, it's third game in 4 nights. And before last night, they were on a 4-game road trip. So they was on a 4-game road trip, come home for 1 game. Now they're back out on the road again with no rest in between. And I think that's kind of indicative of why this line is moving towards the Golden State Warriors. I'm seeing 11.5 pop up now. I don't want to lay that many points with the Warriors, but I do think that they are the right side here. Let's see. What else did I put in my notes here? Come back to back. 5 straight losses for the Utah Jazz. But they have covered 7 of their last 11 games now because they did not cover last night. On the Golden State side, they are a lot more rested. 2 days rest. They lost to the Lakers by 10 the other night after beating the Bulls by 25. The Golden State Warriors are kind of Jekyll and Hyde as well. And this is the first leg of a back-to-back for the Warriors. They got OKC tomorrow coming to town. 3rd straight home game for the Warriors as well. So they should be in pretty good form here. So the trend that I talked about, right? Teams that have played 4 straight road games, then come home for 1 game, then have no rest, and then right back on the road, typically get smoked, man. It's something like, what was this? 104. I think it was 104, 133 and 5 against the number. So that's a 57% trend. It's just they just lay the points with the Golden State Warriors. And it is continuing to move from 10.5 to 11.5. But who knows who's going to play for Utah? They could potentially rest everybody. That actually makes me like Utah a little bit more if Golden State does rest everybody. The Warriors have been double-digit favorites twice this season. They're 0-2 against the spread, 2-0 to the over. Didn't cover against the Wizards, didn't cover against the Nets, but they did score 120 in both of those games. So defensively, they kind of let their guard down is what this trend tells me. I think I'll be looking towards the over in this game as the total continues to rise. The Jazz have been double-digit dogs 13 times. They are 8-5 to the over. They've given up 120. They gave up 125 to the Grizzlies in their last game as a road dog, a double-digit road dog. They gave up 123 to the Thunder as a road dog, 123 to the Pelicans as a road dog, 136 to the Pelicans as a road dog in their last 4 games. So Warriors team total is something that intrigued me. Pretty sure they're going to be playing fast. They should be able to get to 121, and that's what their total is for today. Golden State team total up and over 120.5. If I had to play this one, is what I put in my notes last night. The Warriors, I think that they can score in this spot. Not interested in laying this many points with them. Maybe it's a full game over, but I think that they can get to 121 here. And those are my thoughts on this one. Let's see if you guys have anything to contribute, and then we'll get into the last one. Kevin says he took the under in that last game. I think, are you talking about this one? I think you're talking about the last one. So under 229.5. Spanky says this is a great, this is a get right spot. The hard bet to make usually cash. Nobody wants the Warriors here at this number. I'll lay it. I agree, Spanky. I absolutely agree. And I also agree with Mark. Just can't lay 11 with this version of the Warriors. Can't lay this many. All right, so real quick, just because we're talking about it, let's look at the Warriors real quick. Let's look at the Warriors' home wins. So when the Warriors win, as a home favorite too. So I already mentioned that they were 2-0 straight up, but 0-2 against the spread when they lay in double digits at home. But let's just see if they're home favorite and they win. Let's see how many wins they have by double digits this season. Oh, by 12, because we need them to win by 12. Let's see. While this populates, the bookie likes the Jazz plus 11. Joseph, what a backwood. All right, so Warriors, when they win as a home favorite, they have covered 7 of the 10 games. When they're a home favorite and they win, they've covered 7 out of 10 spreads. They win by an average of 13 points. Let's see. So they beat the Pelicans by 15. They beat the Mavs by 3. They beat the Grizzlies by 5. They beat the Hawks by 23. They beat the Timberwolves by 8. They beat the Suns by 4. They beat the Sixers by 34. They beat the Grizzlies by 8. They beat the Wizards by 8. They beat the Bulls by 25. Not enough data in there to support me laying this big of a number. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 of their 10 home wins as a favorite have come by this many points, by 15 or more. The other 6 were all by single digits. Not going to be able to get there with the Warriors, but I think that they are the right side. Let's see. What up, Manny? Appreciate you for tapping in. Flint says Damian Lillard points. We offer that game. He likes Dame points. J-Dub says Curry over his assists, sprinkle on the double-double. I think Jacob was talking about Curry assists as well. I could see Steph having a big game here from the assist department. Not going to bring it up on the screen, but there are some data that support that. Specifically, the Jazz being trash against giving up assists. Really just it. Steph he had a couple big assist games. Anton says, good morning, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well as well, bro. Belay says 1-800 gambler game. Pete says, with Brzezinski back, he likes his points, rebounds, and assists. I guess to go over on DraftKings plus 160. Says Golden State missing playoffs if they don't start stacking wins. This is one of them. They should get there. Christian also likes Curry over his rebounds and assists at 11.5. On the over, Chad says, yeah, I like Golden State team total over. I can see, depending on who plays for Utah, I can see it potentially getting up and over. All right, cool. Last one on the board, man. Last one. I've been talking for way too long to not have a bet. And I'm probably not going to bet today. I think today is a good day to take off. Maybe I'll find something that I absolutely love. But talking these games out, it's not anything that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to bet this, or I bet this already. Like, I just don't feel that way about today's slate. Rockets and Celtics, this line, is it still 6.5? Yeah, 6.5. But you could have got a 5 last night. With the Atlanta Hawks, 5 points if you wanted the Atlanta Hawks. This is a makeup game, right? So I think that's something important to mention. Both of these teams, of course, played last night. The Rockets will be traveling in from Boston. The Atlanta Hawks will be traveling in from Minnesota. And it's a very bad spot for the Atlanta Hawks here. They did cover last night against Minnesota. I told people not to lay that many points with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Hopefully, people didn't do that. They're 4-14 against the spread as a home favorite. You want the Timberwolves catching points. You do not want to lay big numbers with the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's not something that they're interested in. Last time that they won, they covered a game at home was against the Lakers, and it was by half a point on December the 13th. But I digress. Hopefully people didn't lose their money betting on the Rockets betting on the Timberwolves. So now you get the Rockets coming off a big win, right? Udoka back in Boston. Big win, Super Bowl type win last night for them. I don't want the Rockets in this spot either. They are much better than the Atlanta Hawks. They got the rest advantage in this game. They could possibly win this game by 10 points. I want nothing to do with them here. I do think that the Atlanta Hawks, because of the situation that they were in, as far as a rest perspective, I think that's why they rested their guys in last night's game. I think we see Trae Young, probably get rolled into this game. Dyson Daniels probably also comes back. They're still gonna be without Jalen Johnson, but I think they could potentially keep this one close, keep it within the number. I know nobody probably wants Atlanta. They've been looking like absolute garbage recently. I think that they what are they? 5 straight losses or 6 straight losses. I can't remember. It's 5 or 6. Second leg of road home back-to-back as well. Third game in 4 nights as well. And I want to say that this is, 7 game in 11 nights and 6 game in 9 nights for the Atlanta Hawks as well. So it's a really terrible spot for them here. Houston, like I said, I just don't want Houston because of the big win that they came off of last night. I think that they are the right side. I don't want to lay this many points with the Rockets on the road, though, on the second leg of a back-to-back, especially coming off a big win. The Rockets have been very consistent, though. I will give them that. They have been very consistent. Maybe put them on a money line parlay or something after Trae Young gets rolled in and this line comes back down to maybe 5 or something like that. But it's not a spot that I necessarily want to bet. Just don't like the situational stuff here. I will say that, and I didn't look this up, but I'll share it real quick. Remember yesterday, a couple player props that I talked about on the show were absolute golden. Yesterday we talked about, I pulled up Miles Bridges. He went up or over his points plus rebounds, and his points plus assists. And then the other one I pulled up was actually Amin, right? Yeah, Amin went crazy last night. So I didn't expect for him to do to play that well. He had 33 points last night, career high, and hit the game winner in Boston last night. But we were talking about, remember I talked about this yesterday. It was his steals plus blocks. If he's going to continue to play that many minutes, I think he just continue to play it. So it looks like they did boost it up to 3.5 now. But this was at 2.5. Actually, I think it was at 1.5 when I talked about it yesterday. I think it was minus 155. There was a little bit of juice attached. This is the way I probably would play today. I know 3.5 seems like a lot. He's only going up and over in 3 of his last 10 games. But if he's going to play the minutes, man, I think he's absolutely going to be able to have a chance. And he's playing 40-plus minutes with Jabari Smith Jr. now not being there because of the hand injury. So if you look at the full season, you can see that he's only averaging about, even on the full season now, he's playing 30 minutes, a little over 30 minutes a night. But look at the last 10 games, 39 minutes. So he's playing big minutes. Super young kid, super athletic. Let's see, if we put his minutes at 35, not even 40. Let's just put him at 35. Only up and over just because the number's going up so much. But I like him in Thompson, man. I think he can go up and over his steals plus blocks tonight. 3.5, I know is a pretty big number. Maybe it's just a steals play. But I like him in Thompson tonight in this game, especially if Trae Young don't play. I think Atlanta, I know Atlanta's been really struggling with protecting the basketball as of late. To put some numbers to Atlanta basketball protection, they are 20th in turnover rate, so full season, bottom 10. Last 5 games, the Atlanta Hawks are the second worst in protecting the basketball. I think Amin can have a game here, man. I really do. So I lean towards Amin up and over his steals plus blocks, maybe even just his steals. Maybe that's something I'll dive a little bit deeper into as the day goes on. But yeah, I watched him play last night. That number was 1.5. He crushed that line. LJ know it because he watched this guy all the time. He says Min Thompson is a monster on the board. So looking at his boards as well, Mark says Houston first quarter and first half cashed yesterday. Glad you cashed those. Let's see what else y'all seen about this one. Vaughn says Really dislike how they did the schedule this week. I like it when it was 5 and 7 games, 5 to 7 games a day. Now it's 10 plus. Yeah, it sucks, man. It's gonna be like this for a while. I already looked into it. It's gonna be like this for quite a while, man. Tomorrow it's everybody playing again, which makes it really difficult to bet. Too much to kind of handicap, but that's not what y'all here for. I agree with you though, man. Flynn says Buddy Hill points. He's averaged 20 against them. Points line sitting at 11.5. It's really just gonna be about if he making shots, Flynn, because he gonna definitely get the looks. Buddy Hill just be clanking. GLB says, Chris, I think you found something really good with Golden State team total over. I'm playing it now. Hey, put it in the Discord, GLB. I need to see what you found, but it just kind of makes sense to me. I'm not expecting Utah to play defense on the second leg of a back-to-back, and they could be down even more players. So, yeah, makes sense to me. But Fly Dad says, I love Atlanta money line. Cash it. Ooh, okay. Vaughn says, really, he says heavy on a men double-double. Or his points plus rebounds. That makes a lot of sense. Andrew says he'll go Rockets or pass. D-Book says he'll take the Hawks plus 6 if Trey and Jalen Johnson play. So Jalen Johnson is out without a timetable. He's not returning anytime soon, just FYI. Like, don't expect for him to pop up and play today. That's not what I would do. Trey Young could probably come back and play, but Jalen Johnson not playing today. Don't worry about seeing him. If you're waiting for Jalen Johnson, you might want to get in now. Don't wait for Jalen Johnson. J-Man says Thompson gonna go off tonight too. Yeah, Thompson's been hooping, man. I like Thompson a lot. All right, so quick recap. Then I'm getting up out of here. Way too long. Nothing is what I'm betting today. Nothin. It's like, nah, I'm just kidding. Recap for today's show. We talked about Lakers Philly. I'm not laying points with the Lakers, man. It is a Lakers spot. Not laying points with them, no. I'll stay off of that game. Maybe the Austin Reeves points plus rebounds under if I like Anthony Davis to go up and over. So we'll go ambulance driver, my guy, Anthony Davis, over 24.5. Is it 24.5? I think it's 24.5 points. Or is it 26.5? I can't remember. Let's see real quick. Let's just go. He should be able to get to whatever the number is. I'm not, like I said, I'm probably not going to make a bet today though, man. Probably not going to make a bet. It's not 24.5 either. It is 26.5. So Anthony Davis to get to 26, which correlates with Austin Reeves to go under. What was that number? Jesus, I should have probably wrote these down. Let's see. Austin Reeves. It was points plus rebounds, I think it was, right? Points plus rebounds. Yeah, because he's been dishing. Under 23.5 points plus rebounds is the number for Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves under 23.5 points plus rebounds. Let me change these to red because I did not bet these. Just trying to give you guys my thought process. People will swear these official plays. And then if I'm looking at Milwaukee and Portland, I'm going under. 229.5 is the best number. Remember I said that these games have stayed under. The last 4 have actually gone under. Milwaukee, Portland. Expecting some 3-point regression from the Portland Trail Blazers. A Portland team total under, I think, is in the realm of possibility as well. Golden State team total over 120.5, I think, is available on FanDuel at the best odds right now. And then Atlanta and Houston, I won't make anything on this game because I am kind of interested to see who plays for Atlanta too. Like, does Trey come back? Does he not come back? Just monitor the injury report, man. Let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 8 teams playing today. 5 of them playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. So, yeah. NBA is hard to bet right now, but I guess these will be my top 4 looks. If I make anything official, I'll send it out to the members a little bit later. Appreciate you all for tapping in. Resources are here that I use to handicap the games. jaXon likes, what did I say jaXon likes? jaXon likes over between Lakers and 76ers today. And the total continues to drop. It's down to 216.5 on a couple books. So, a team total under. What was it? Under or over? It likes over. Because it said the Philadelphia 76ers don't have rim protection. but then you're trusting the Lakers to score, and that could be scary as well. So yeah, check out jaXon if you guys are interested. 50% off, discount code in the description. Outlier, going through it the whole time I've been using it on the show. 7-day free link trial in the description. Moneyballer, 50% off using promo code ChrisBeCappinn 2 P's 2 N's. And OddsJam, sportsbook referral page, sportsbook screen page. You can get 20% off using code CBC as well. Hope something that we talked about was helpful for you guys. I'm just not feeling it today, man. Not feeling it today. As far as from a betting perspective, not anything that I absolutely love, man. But I hope the show was helpful. Hope you cash it, whatever it is that you play. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm probably going to do another night show. Just FYI. Probably going to do another night show tonight. Just to try to get ahead of some of the lines for tomorrow if I can find some stuff that I like. So yeah, not gonna be super super duper locked in for tonight's games, but hope you guys cash. Like I said, catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.